Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a brush collection, or I guess brush favorites video. I've picked out all of my favorite and kind of most used brushes here and the brushes that I really recommend you have in your collection. I have so many brushes, but I have so many that I don't reach for. I kind of have my core set that I use regularly and a few that I switch out for each other that I use the most often. So I wanted to kind of talk you guys through my favorites. I had a request to do this video because I haven't done a favorite brush video in like 2 years. I looked back on my channel. So I have an older favorite brush video, and honestly I think a lot of these are really the same, and I've probably had a lot of these for that long and since that video, but that just means I love these brushes so much and I can't wait to share them with you. So first off, I'll share the brushes that I have in the thumbnail of this video, and this is a Real Techniques duo fiber brush set. I absolutely love this. I recently looked for this online to start linking for you guys because I'm just obsessed with this and I think everyone needs this in their collection, and it looks like the only place they sell it now is Walmart. I got mine, I believe, at Ulta a long time ago, but I just love Real Techniques brushes. I have tons of them in my collection. I've used them for years. There's some that I've repurchased when they've gotten too worn out, but they really do last well for me, and I have this set, and then I have this one which is the same as the big one, but they just used to sell it separately. I can't find it sold separately anywhere, but I can find this set, and it's worth it just to get this big one, even if you don't really need these small ones as much, but I think these small ones are super useful too. So as you can see, and if you watch my past videos, you know that I love this big duo fiber brush for my bronzer. It's my absolute favorite way to apply bronzer. I love this. If you have fair skin and you don't want to get too heavy-handed with bronzer or any other product, this is a great brush. It's also great for like lightly dusting on setting powder or dusting off baking. I just love this. It's also great if you want to go back over stuff and kind of blend. All three of these are just great for like a finishing blend if you've already applied product with another brush and you need to kind of take off a little bit of pigment or just kind of blend things a little better. I love these. So this one's great for bronzer and kind of all over the face. This one is their duo fiber contour brush, it says. This is probably my least used out of the three, but again, this is really nice for kind of blending in the cheek area or anywhere on the face. And if you just kind of need to touch up, or if you want to apply contour a little lighter, this works great for it too. I just don't reach for it that often. I'll show you another one that I reach for more for that. And then the duo fiber eye brush, this is a lifesaver. If you are into eyeshadow looks, obviously I'm not. I always do the same look with just like a mid-tone brown on my, or in my crease of my eye. But if I'm ever doing a more complicated eyeshadow look, I need this brush. It just like can blend out and diffuse anything. The super long, like not dense fibers just make it perfect for kind of just like taking away the pigment and blending it. I can't describe it, but this, you need it. If you have trouble blending and you are always trying to blend back over kind of eyeshadow looks that don't go according to plan, you need this. It'll change your life and really help. And then I mentioned the brush that I like better for blending contour, and that is this one. Other than Real Techniques, my second suggestion would be Morphe Brushes, because I have a ton of these also, and they're also super affordable and I think good quality for the money. So this is the Morphe M530. I believe it's called their like small contour brush or something, but I like these more natural fiber brushes, again, that aren't too dense, especially if you have fair skin or you're just going for a lighter makeup application and you don't want to pack on too much pigment accidentally. I used this one today to kind of apply my contour and bronzer. First of all, it lets you get a little bit more of a detailed bronzer application or contour application, but because again it's not dense at all, it's nice and fluffy and kind of the fibers are like looser, I guess you could say. It just like diffuses the product really well, and I love this. If you need to blend in contour and you don't want it to get too like harsh and like a straight, you know, line, I really recommend this brush. Love it. Along the same lines for blush, this is what I used to apply my blush today. This is the MAC, oh gosh, it's like rubbed off. I think it's the 160. It's like their little blush brush, excuse me. This is great for a really detailed blush application. For a more diffused blush application, this is what I use more often. This is the Estee Lauder Blush Brush 15. It's a much bigger blush brush, but I just love how soft this is. I've had this for years and it just has some of the softest fibers. It's held up so well. it's just good quality. This is the only Estee Lauder brush I have, but it's just like the perfect big, fluffy, simple, basic blush brush, and I'm a huge fan. I'll kind of try to wrap up face brushes now. For powder, I always get tons of questions on this brush because it's just not very well known. This is the Osmosis Full Face Brush by Osmosis Color, which if you guys are familiar, they're a skincare line, and they also have makeup. Mine, what's it called? The handle is loose and the glue is kind of coming off, but the bristles are in great shape. This is what I use every single day for my all over face powder. I use this to apply my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish to kind of set my whole makeup. And I just love this brush. I think it's fairly affordable as well compared to something like this. This is the Lemare powder brush, which is like a cult favorite. Mine just hasn't really like aged that well. If you can see, it's kind of got this like ridge here where the bristles just aren't sitting as like seamlessly domed as they should be. So I wouldn't recommend investing in this. This is a beautiful brush. I do like this for setting if you're looking to like treat yourself, like fun to buy, but I would definitely recommend this Osmosis one more. I got mine off of Premier Look, but I think you can get it on the Osmosis site as well. Anyway, I get tons of questions on this. If you want a really soft, nice full face brush, I really like this one. And then for liquid foundation application, if you're not using a beauty blender, which normally I always do, I use this for applying my cream foundation. This is the Sigma F80, just their flat kabuki. This is everyone's holy grail favorite foundation brush, I think. This is probably the second or third one I've had in my collection over the years. I really like this, but again, I only use it for cream foundation. I'm always kind of like a beauty blender kind of girl. And then I also love this Real Techniques setting brush. It's just the perfect little tiny brush for like setting the under eye powder and wiping away here. I love this. It's got a nice tapered shape where you can really get into that inner corner. I have a few other brushes in my collection that are supposed to do the same thing, but this one is just the perfect shape and size and is just my like old standby. It's affordable and I just love it. I think you need this brush in your collection also. This next brush is a little bit of a splurge, not a necessity. This is the NARS Ita brush, and if anyone can tell me how I can like clean this off, mine's like permanently discolored here from makeup, but this is the little contouring brush. I love this for contouring my nose. I really don't use this that often for contouring my cheeks or the rest of my face, but for the sides of my nose like this and just under here and under my lip, pretty much every day that I'm contouring, I use this brush. You can also just take any of your other like brushes that you're using and squeeze it and kind of get the same effect. But if you're really someone that like contours a lot or wants to contour their nose, this is just amazing. You need it. This doesn't have like the softest bristles, I would say. I find NARS brushes are slightly scratchy, but there's just nothing else on the market that's as like perfectly made for contouring as this that I found anyway. So I really like this. If you guys have a good dupe for this, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your suggestions, but since I splurged on this years and years ago, I'm going to be keeping it forever. But again, I just wish I could like clean it, but the shape of the handle is just so pleasing to me. I don't know why. Oh my gosh, I thought I had more eye brushes than this, but I don't. I have one more face brush, which is crazy. This is the Morphe M501. I used to love this brush for highlight. This is the Anastasia A23, which was my holy grail for highlight forever, but it's definitely been replaced by this Morphe one, and this is more affordable. Again, the M501. It's just so fluffy. It's tapered and pointed. You can kind of get a more blurred out application or a more precise application. It's really easy to dust on the nose and down the cupid's bow, and I can even poke it into my inner corner like this because it's just tapered enough for that. This is just my holy grail highlight brush. The other thing about it is like the domed shape rather than this like oblong shape, I think works better when you spray with setting spray and then apply. This one can get like, I think just a little messy and is just a little too big. It's nice to have like a tapered point when you're applying highlighter with like setting spray on the brush, if you know what I mean. Now let's talk about eye brushes. I only have a few here. I'm sure in my last video I talked about the Sigma E40. This was my favorite tapered blending brush for just throwing the light brown in my crease every day. Mine is a million years old. The name has completely rubbed off the handle and it's been replaced by the Morphe M518 brush. This is pretty much exactly the same. It just has white fibers instead of the black. I don't know if these are natural fibers or synthetic on Morphe. I know this Sigma one is synthetic. But this is just so much softer, and since switching to this, it's just so much more comfortable on my eyelids. I don't know if it's because my E40 is so old that it's scratchy now, but this is like the backup one, reject one, like if this was super dirty or something and I couldn't use it, then I would go back to the Sigma. But this Morphe M518, if you just need a regular crease brush for blending your eyeshadow in the crease, this is it. Gorgeous. Two more super soft eye brushes, but one more big one for blending. This is the Bobbi Brown Eye Blender Brush. This is super soft. It's like a great investment brush. I use this for setting all over, setting my eyelid. I don't use this really for like applying anything in the crease or blending like it says. I just use this for kind of setting the whole area, but it's so soft. I like this. Again, maybe you don't need this, but I just love it. And then one more super soft brush. This is the Persona. I'm gonna have to look what it's called and try to link it down below, but it's like just their eye brush, I think it's called. I've recently shown a lot of the Persona palettes that I had in my collection in my declutter video, but this brush is like a hidden gem. It is so soft. It's perfect for like blending or like deepening up the outer corner here. And it is just the softest brush. Like I can't explain, it's just so nice. Like if you're looking for a super soft brush for this like outer corner area or for deepening up the crease, I love this brush. Like I can't say enough good things about it. I just personally don't do tons of complex eyeshadow looks, as you guys now know, so I don't get a lot of use out of this. And if you don't do those kind of looks, I don't think you need this either. But if you do a lot of like heavy eyeshadow kind of looks, this is a super soft one that I would recommend. And that's it for this kind of tour through my favorite brushes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll try to link every single one in the description down below. There's a lot here, so hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing them. Please leave me a comment in the description down below so that I know what you guys want to see next, and let me know any brushes that you suggest I try and that you love. I love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.